You woke up this morning and the first thing you did was reach for something that wants to steal from you. You didn't even open your eyes fully before your fingers found the cold glass screen. And in that moment, you handed over the most valuable thing you own, your first thought of the day. You gave it to a notification, an email, a number, a like, a comment from someone who will never sit in the dark with you when you're breaking. That small act, that innocent little scroll, just rewired your brain before you even stood up. Do you understand what that means? You let the world's chaos walk into your mind before you've had a single second to remember who you are. And now you wonder why you feel anxious before noon, why your chest feels tight, why your patience is gone by 9 a.m. Here is the truth no one tells you. Your morning is not just a routine. Your morning is a battlefield. And right now you are losing, not because you're weak, not because you're lazy, because no one ever taught you that the first 5 minutes of your day decide the next 16 hours. So here we are, you and me, no fluff, no candles and soft music and pretend peace. This is a 5-minute morning meditation for beginners, but not the kind you think. This is a weapon. This is a reset. This is you taking back control from a world that wants you distracted, reactive, and exhausted. Are you ready? Then put the phone down, sit up, and listen. Section 1. The first war is always in your head. You have been lied to about what meditation actually is. You think it's about emptying your mind, sitting cross-legged, chanting something in a language you don't speak. That's not meditation. That's performance. Real meditation is the act of watching your own thoughts without being kidnapped by them. And here is the brutal truth. Your thoughts are not your friends right now. They are habits, loops, old recordings from childhood, from past failures, from every person who told you that you weren't enough. When you wake up, your brain doesn't wait for you to get ready. It floods you. It throws memories of that mistake at work 3 years ago. It reminds you of the argument you had with your partner last night. It whispers, you're already behind, you're already failing, everyone else is ahead of you. That is not truth. That is chemistry. Your amygdala, the ancient part of your brain designed to keep you alive from tigers and predators, has hijacked your morning. It doesn't know the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and an email from your boss. To your brain, both are threats, so it pumps cortisol into your system before you've even brushed your teeth. And cortisol, that stress hormone, makes you feel urgent, panicked, reactive. That is why you snap at your family. That is why you make impulsive decisions. That is why you feel exhausted by 2 p.m. You are not broken. You are being chemically controlled by a survival mechanism that worked 10,000 years ago but is destroying you now. So here is the shift. The first act of discipline is not exercise, not cold showers, not green juice. The first act of discipline is sitting in the silence of your own mind for 5 minutes and refusing to run from what you find there. Can you do that? Can you sit with yourself when there is no distraction, no noise, no phone, no escape? Most people cannot. Most people would rather feel anxious than feel still, but you are not most people. You are here. And here is your action step for tomorrow morning before you touch anything. Not the phone, not the lamp, not the blanket. Sit up in bed, close your eyes, and take exactly 10 deep breaths. Count each one. That is your first win of the 2. Your breath is a remote control for your nervous system. Let me teach you something that took me years of panic attacks to learn. Your breath is not just air moving in and out of your lungs. Your breath is a lever. And when you pull it the right way, you can change your entire biology in seconds. Here is the science. Your nervous system has 2 main settings, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is the gas pedal. It's fight or flight. It's cortisol. It's your heart racing, your palms sweating, your mind spinning. Parasympathetic is the brake. It's rest and digest. It's calm. It's clarity. And here is the beautiful, simple truth. You control which one is active by how you breathe. When you take short, shallow breaths from your chest, you are telling your brain, danger, danger, we are under threat. When you take slow, deep breaths from your belly, you are telling your brain, we are safe. Stand down. That is not spiritual talk. That is physiology. That is the vagus nerve. A massive superhighway from your brain to your internal organs, responding to the rhythm of your breath. So when you wake up anxious, you are not weak. You are just breathing wrong. Let me give you a real-life scenario. You have a presentation at 9 a.m. Your boss is in the room. Your career feels like it's on the line. Your heart is pounding. Your mouth is dry. Your mind is blank. Everyone tells you to calm down, which is the least helpful thing anyone has ever said. But here is what actually works. You excuse yourself to the bathroom. You put your hand on your belly, and you inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6 seconds. That longer exhale, that is the break. That is you reaching into your own chest and turning down the volume on your panic. Do it 5 times, just 5 rounds of that breath. And watch what happens. Your heart rate slows. Your thoughts stop racing. The pressure in your chest softens. You have not changed the situation. You have changed your relationship to it. And that is the entire game of life. Not controlling what happens to you, controlling how you meet it. Here is your challenge for today. Every time you feel that spike of anger, fear, or frustration, you do not react. You pause. You take one single deep breath. And then you ask yourself, am I responding or am I just replaying an old habit? Say this out loud. I am not my panic. I am the one who breathes through it. Section 3. The environment you wake up to is either your prison or your palace. Let's talk about your room. Not in a spiritual, cleanse your chakras way. In a cold, hard, behavioral psychology way. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower ever will. That is not opinion. That is decades of research from people like B.F. Skinner and Kurt Lewin. If you wake up to a phone buzzing, a cluttered nightstand, clothes on the floor, and a window with the blinds shut, your brain receives a signal. That signal says chaos, disorder, survive. And when your brain thinks it's in survival mode, it does not think about goals, dreams, or discipline. It thinks about comfort, distraction, escape. That is why you reach for the phone. That is why you hit snooze 4 times. That is why your morning feels like you're already losing. You have not built an environment that supports who you want to become. You have built an environment that enables who you used to be. So here is the hard conversation. Look around the place where you sleep. Is there light? Not harsh overhead light, but natural light or a warm lamp that tells your brain morning has arrived. Is there silence? Or is there the hum of notifications, the red glow of a charger, the low murmur of a podcast you aren't even listening to? Is there order? Not perfection. Not Instagram minimalism. Just a clear path from your bed to the floor. A glass of water, a notebook. These small things are not aesthetic choices. They are psychological anchors. Your brain craves predictability. When the environment is predictable, your stress drops. When your stress drops, you make better decisions. Let me give you a real-life example. There was a study done on hospital patients recovering from surgery. The patients who had a window with a view of trees healed faster, needed less pain medication, and left the hospital earlier than those who faced a brick wall, a view of trees. That's all. That changed their biology. Now ask yourself, what does the view from your bed look like? What message is it sending to your nervous system the moment you open your eyes? You do not need a perfect apartment. You do not need expensive sheets or a sunrise alarm clock. You need one small change. Tonight, before you sleep, put your phone in another room. Not on silent, not on do not disturb. In another room, the first 5 minutes of your morning belong to you. Not to the world, not to your boss, not to the news, not to that group chat that drains you. Tomorrow, when you wake up, your phone will not be there. And in that silence, you will hear something uncomfortable yourself. That is the beginning. That is the doorway. Walk through it. Section 4. The voice in your head is a muscle. Train it or be destroyed by it. I need you to understand something that will sound harsh but might save your life. The way you talk to yourself in the first 5 minutes of the morning is the single greatest predictor of how the rest of your day will go. Not your coffee, not your workout, not your to-do list, your self-talk. And most of you have a voice inside that is cruel, demanding, never satisfied. You wake up and the first thing that voice says is, you didn't sleep enough. You're going to fail today. Look at how much everyone else is doing. You're lazy. You're behind. That voice is not truth. That voice is a habit loop. Here is the neuroscience. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity. That means every thought you think literally reshapes the physical structure of your brain. The thoughts you think most often become superhighways. They become automatic. They become the lens through which you see everything. So if you wake up every morning and tell yourself you are tired, overwhelmed, and not good enough, you are not describing reality, you are constructing it. You are carving those neural pathways deeper and deeper until criticism becomes your default setting. And here is the part that hurts. That voice did not come from nowhere. It came from a parent who was never satisfied, a teacher who compared you, a boss who made you feel small, a relationship that convinced you that love had to be earned. That voice is a ghost. It is an old recording, and it has been playing in your head for so long that you think it is you. But it is not you. You are the one who hears the voice. And if you can hear it, you can change it. This is not toxic positivity. I'm not telling you to stare in the mirror and lie to yourself about being a superhero. I am telling you to become a scientist of your own mind, to notice the thought without believing it, to say, there is that old thought again, the one about not being enough. Interesting? I don't have to agree with it. That tiny gap between the thought and your belief in the thought is where your freedom lives. Let me give you a real-life example. You are about to walk into a meeting. The voice says everyone thinks you're incompetent. You're going to say something stupid. Most people believe that voice. They shrink. They apologize before they speak. They confirm the prophecy. But what if in that moment you took a breath and said, that is fear, not fact. I have prepared. I belong here. And even if I make a mistake, I will survive it. That is not arrogance. That is discipline. You have spent years training the voice of self-criticism. Now spend 5 minutes a day training the voice of self-respect. Here is your action step. Tomorrow morning, after your 10 breaths, say this out loud to yourself. I am not my first thought. I am my response to it. Say it 3 times. Mean it. And watch how the day shifts when you stop agreeing with your own enemy. Section 5. The 5-minute ritual that will change everything. No experience needed. You have sat through the hard truths. You have seen the science. You have felt the weight of what needs to change. Now I am going to give you the simplest, most brutal, most effective 5-minute morning meditation for beginners that exists. You do not need a cushion. You do not need an app. You do not need incense or a special playlist or a teacher with a soothing voice. You need 5 minutes, a straight spine, and the courage to be still. Here is the ritual. Step 1. The moment you wake up, before you move a single muscle, notice your body. Where is the tension? Is it in your jaw, your shoulders, your lower back? Do not try to fix it, just notice it. That is all. Step 2. Sit up. Not leaning against anything, not slouching. A spine that says, I am awake and I am here. Posture is not posture. Posture is a statement to your brain. A slumped spine tells your brain defeat. An open chest tells your brain readiness. Step 3. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Not controlling it, just watching it. In, out, like you are sitting on the bank of a river watching the water pass. Step 4. And this is the part that changes everything. As you breathe, you are going to notice your thoughts. They will come. Oh, they will come. Memories, worries, to-do lists. Conversations that haven't happened yet. Do not fight them. Do not follow them, just label them. Say quietly in your mind, thinking, that is it, just thinking. And then come back to the breath. You will do this 50 times in 5 minutes. That is not failure, that is the practice. Every time you notice a thought and return to your breath, you are doing a rep, like a bicep curl, for your attention. And over days, weeks, months, that muscle grows. You become less reactive, more present. Less owned by every passing emotion. Step 5. In the final minute, shift your attention from your breath to your heart. Feel it beating, and silently to yourself, say 3 things. 1 thing you are grateful for. 1 thing you will do today to move toward who you want to become. 1 thing you forgive yourself for. That last one matters more than you know. Because carrying yesterday's shame into today is like running a race with weights tied to your ankles. Then open your eyes, drink water, and begin your day. That is it. 5 minutes, no cost, no equipment, no excuse, and here is the promise. If you do this every morning for 30 days, you will not recognize the person you become. Not because the world changes, because you change. Because you stop being a puppet pulled by every notification, every criticism, every fear. You become the one who chooses, the one who responds, the one who breathes before they break. So here is your final challenge. No more reading, no more watching, no more saying I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, when your eyes open, you do not reach for the phone. You sit up, you breathe, you sit in the silence with yourself. And in that silence, you will find something you have been running from your whole life, yourself. And you will discover that you are not the disaster you were taught to believe. You are the witness, the observer. the one who can watch the storm without being destroyed by it. Now go. Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier and begin. Say this out loud. I am not my chaos. I am the stillness beneath it. And I start now.